In this project, I created a prototype that is a USB adapter to a 40-pin IDE parallel cable, and I connect these pins to the VCC and ground of the USB to power the fans. The objective is to create a system in which the fans that cool the equipment are powered by the USB plug of the equipment itself. I will demonstrate the application of this prototype adapter to improve performance, but first, subscribe to the channel because I post new videos every week. So we have this type of devices, a network router or a set-top box, and because they work 24 hours a day, they get hot. Many times I have to copy hundreds of gigabytes a day over the network. The temperature of the device gets higher and the performance gets lower because it doesn't have any cooling. For that, I created a prototype adapter that connects an IDE cable to a USB plug, so I can power small fans. So I have these desktop fans, and what this will do is I connect this adapter to the USB on the set-top box or the USB on the router, where I use the pin for the VCC and the pin for the ground that are connected for each row, one row for the VCC and the other row for the ground. And using small jumper cables, I can connect 20 cables for the VCC and 20 cables for the ground, thus powering 20 fans. These types of fans can have from 2 to 4 wires, but I only need the black and the red wire to power the fan. And with the fans working, I place them on top of the device. I can use 1 or 2, so I can move the hot air and replace with cold air. Because if I cool down the device, the performance will increase. I will place one fan full-time here, cooling the device, and this will increase the durability and the longevity of the device, because it's always hot. So let's demonstrate how this adapter works. So in this end is a USB plug that I can connect to any USB plug like this set-top box, and then I will use some jumper wires to make the connections on each row to connect to the fans. For now, let me get a USB extension to better show you how these work. So I'm going to plug the USB extension on the USB plug and connect the adapter to the extension. So let's connect this, and now in these pins on the IDE cable I have the VCC and the ground, so I can connect the jumper wires. Let me get one fan, so I'll use this fan, and I'll place this fan turned down so I can push cold air inside the device. I use 2 jumper wires to make the connection, one for the VCC, one for the ground. I connect to the VCC on the row outside, and the other jumper wire on the other row for the ground. Now I connect to the fan, the VCC on the red wire, and the ground on the black wire, and the fan is working. As you can see, be careful with your fingers. And now I can put the fan on the open part on top of the device, so I can push air inside the device. And after a few minutes working, we can notice that the device is colder. Because this device has a big grill on top, we are using a second fan. So we can push air with 2 fans. We place the second fan on top. We get 2 more wires for the VCC and the ground. Make the same connections, one to the VCC on the adapter and the other to the ground on the adapter, and make the connections to the red wire for the VCC on the fan. Let's connect this, and the ground to the black wire on the fan. and the second fan is working. Now we have two fans pushing air inside the device. And with 40 pins on the adapter, I can power 20 fans. Now let's move the router with the fans so we can connect more fans for a second device. And this device will be a television set-top box. Let's bring out the set-top box. And we can see on the back it also have a grid for air that we are going to use to push air in. I decided to refrigerate this device because this not only shows television but always run applications, and sometimes, because it gets hot, the application becomes slower or even freezes. So let's refrigerate this device. We'll use the same adapter connected to the router. We only need to get more fans. Let's get two more. So I have to place the fan on the grid of the device. Now I need two more jumper wires to make the connections, one for the VCC, one for the ground. I make the connections on the VCC on my power hub, and one for the ground on the power hub. And now I connect to the connections on the fan. The VCC will be on the red wire and the ground on the black wire, and the fan starts working. Now it's moving air inside. And be careful with your fingers. Now with this power hub you have three fans cooling down the router and cooling down the set-top box, and using only one USB plug that I can use from any type of device. The fans on the router have been working for a while. It is cooler, and on the side I can feel the cold air coming out. So the system is working as expected. Cold air is coming in and the hot air is pushed out. Let me show you the entire system working. All the fans working connected to the power hub. And with this power adapter I can power up to 20 fans and cool down as many devices I want, only with one USB plug. And the more fans I use on the device, the colder the device will be. And when I unplug the USB cable on the adapter, all the fans will stop working. And they all stop. To turn on the fans again, I just plug again the USB cable, and the entire system gets power from the 5 volts from the USB. So with my power adapter USB-to-IDE that works like a breadboard, and I can cool down a network switch, router, set-top box or SBCs. So any type of device that doesn't come with a fan or a refrigeration system but should be cooled down to give a better performance. And with my power adapter I can cool down the devices using its own USB plug. Let's move this back again, and if I want to shut down the system, I just have to unplug the USB cable and the system is off. And now with my network device cooler, it will give me a better performance when processing the data. It is cooler, can feel it, and the same with the set-top box. The applications will be faster. I will have less problems while streaming video, and the durability and longevity of the device will be higher. I hope you liked this prototype. Now consider subscribing to the channel because I post new videos every week. Hit the like button if you like this project, and if you have any question or comment, write in the comments below.